Hey everyone, welcome back to Comic Book Corner. Yes guys, it's me, it's Spider Slayer. Welcome back guys. We are getting ready to do the official review and walkthrough of The Walking Dead issue number 100. That's right guys. So if you have not read this, I'm going to tell you right now, please read the issue before we go over this review. It is a complete walkthrough. There will be spoilers, so I just want to let everybody know ahead of time so they don't get angry. Okay, guys. Here is another cover. This is one of my favorite covers here of The Walking Dead issue 100, the Charlie Adlard cover. I love this cover. It's fantastic. And one of the other things that I wanted to point out was Lucille. This was The Walking Dead issue 100 on TheWalkingDead.com issue 100, and it said Lucille is coming July 11th, and I was like, who is Lucille? And little to say is that, oh my god, I found out who Lucille was, and I almost shit myself, honestly. So for you guys who have actually read the issue, you know who Lucille is. And guys, this issue was a double-sized issue, and I got so into it, it felt like I read it in 2 minutes. It was a phenomenal issue, a very sad issue. I almost cried. I almost couldn't stand actually looking at the pages because, as you guys know who watch my channel, I'm very vested into this series and I'm very attached to the people who are in this series. And when I found out what happened to Glenn, and as if you're reading this now or watching this video, you know what happens at this point. We all know that Glenn passes away in this issue, and it was sad. It's a very sad situation with this Negan character has put the group through. I was shocked, absolutely shocked. So with that being said, we're going to get into the issue, and obviously we all know by now Robert Kirkman, who created this fabulous series. Charlie Adlard is the inker and penciler. Cliff Rathburn does the gray tones, and all the covers done were phenomenal covers. I wasn't a fan of one of them, but Charlie Adlard and Cliff Rathburn did cover A. Mark Silvestri and Sonny Good did cover B. Frank Quitely and did cover C. McFarlane and Sean Roche did cover D. Sean Phillips did cover E. Brian Hitch did cover F, and John Ronch. Ryan Otley did cover G, and Charlie Adlard and Cliff Rathburn did cover H, and Charlie Adlard did cover 1. Just in case you guys didn't know that. So with that being said, we're going to actually get started here in a second. Just give me 1 second. So with that being said, we're going to get started. So in the last issue, we see Rick and a whole bunch of guys. You know, he put up a team. They were going to go over to the Hilltop. Glenn and Maggie were going to go over there. They were going to live there and protect their new baby and things like that. And also Sophia looked like she was going to go there too. Rick suspected that it would be safe to go there before they would plan another attack. So needless to say, they were completely wrong. Okay. What happens is Rick and the group, they leave. Okay. They're driving in their van, and here we see Andrea and Spencer just talking, and Andrea is basically talking about, oh, don't hit on me. That's basically what she's saying, and she's like, and Spencer's like, no, no, I'm just happy for you, and that's what matters. So in the beginning of the issue, you see all this quietness, all this peacefulness, and you just feel that something is just absolutely going to go wrong. Eugene is mourning over Abraham, and you can see here he's just like, Abraham, I miss, and it's very sad, and everyone's praying for Rick and everyone else's return and making sure that these Negan's characters don't come back, and so that's what we see. That's the last of what you see, what goes on in the group back at the community. Next, what happens is we see that Rick and the group are running late getting to the Hilltop. That's basically what happens is, they felt that Jesus was, helped them along last time, getting them there quicker, and they realized that they weren't going to get there before lunch, and that's what Rick's anticipation was. He really wanted to get there before lunchtime, and it was running into dinner time, and the group said, you know what, Rick, why don't we just keep going? Why don't we drive until midnight? And he felt that it was wrong to keep driving, and they wanted to just stop. So that's what they did. Michonne takes watch overnight. She's got everything. What happens now is she basically just takes watch and protects Van in the camp, and she slices his zombie's head off, and she just goes, rah, comes right off, the katana knife. It's like butter. So what happens now is that Rick wants to take watch. So everything's all clear night. Michonne's like, oh, it's all good in the hood. We're gonna go from there. What happens is Rick is watching, and it's clear, nothing's going on. And what happens now is he's kind of dozing off. He's taking it easy. Nothing's happening. But if you notice when you were reading in the issue, you see here there's a reflection in Rick's jacket, and you see like a noose type of thing. This is when all shit starts to break loose. At this point, it was like my eyes were like glued to the issue. I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? So what happens now is that Rick is taking attack. He's attacked. He's being dragged back. His head hits the floor. It's like, oh, and and then all of a sudden there's people dragging him, and he's being choked. And at this point, you're like, holy shit, is this Negan's people? Obviously it is. Guy calls. He's like, Mike, get Negan and the rest. Gunshot goes. The rest of the group, Rick's group, comes out of the van, and they're like, what the fuck? Next we see is you see Rick is on his knees. The gun's pointed to his head. And all of a sudden you see a whole bunch of people getting out. Boom. Knife. Boom. Feet. Boom. Next you see a whole bunch of Negan's men. And you're like, what the fuck? Dude, there was a shitload of people. I was sitting there looking at the page, and I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, there is no way they're going to get out of this. And you see the chainsaws, the weapons, and everything. And next you see, finally, after a few issues of who Negan is, you finally see him. Negan, right here. This guy, let me tell you guys, is one sick motherfucker. I think he makes the governor look like a fucking pussy. That is my opinion, and excuse the language, but this issue fits what I'm saying right now. It is crazy ass shit. And right away he's like, which one of you pricks is the leader? And one of Negan's men knows who he is, and he goes, this one right here, this is the leader. And he points to him, and he goes, and one of these things is that what Negan says, he goes, we pissing in our pants yet? Oh boy, do I have a feeling we're getting close. It's going to be pee pants here real soon. And right away, it's just like, he says, you guys are going to pay. He goes, no matter what you fucking do, whatever you do now, you're not going to mess with the New World Order. You're part of the New World Order. And he goes, you work for me. Now you have shit. You give it to me, that's your job. I know it's a mighty fucking big nasty pill to swallow, but you swallow it. You most certainly motherfucking will. You ruled the roost. You built something. You thought you were safe. I get it. But the word is out. You're not safe. Not even fucking close. He goes, in fact, you're fucked. And you're even more fucked. Even if you don't fucking give me what I want. And he goes, and what I want is half your shit. And if that's too much, just make me. Find or steal more. And all eventually, this is the way of your life now. He goes, you understand? Oh, no answer? And you can see right here. He's like, what? He's like, you trying to fuck with me? And he goes, line them up. And then he lines them up and he puts everybody on the ground here. Just line them up. And he's got this big old, he's got this big old smile in his hand. He's got this baseball bat with barbed wire on it. And you know what that baseball bat is called? It's called this right here. Bam. Again, Lucille. This is what I was trying to figure out a couple weeks ago. Who the hell is Lucille? And now I know what it is. It's a freaking baseball bat with barbed wire. What a cheap fucker this guy is. What a piece of work. He goes, I don't want to kill any of you. He goes, I want you guys to work for me. And he goes, but you killed my men, and for that you guys are going to pay. And he gets the baseball bat right away. He goes, who I call Lucille, and that's it right there, the baseball bat. And Sophia's just like in awe, and she's like, oh, mommy. And right away we have, what's his face? We have Negan. He says, oh, what a precious little girl, my heart is breaking. And he goes, and a mother and her child, especially when the mother is way too hot to have a child that old. And he's like, no way I can kill you. And he goes, oh, look, a future serial killer. He goes, your story's too early to end. He's like, I'm going to wait and see you live. He goes, not you. He's like, and he goes to Glenn. He goes, no way. He's like, I'm not a freaking racist. I don't play the race card. He goes, same with you. And he goes to Michelle and he goes, the things I can do to you. And then he goes to Rick. He goes, how stupid do you think I am? He's like, you're probably used to being the leader. He's like, you probably get off on it. You know, and then he goes, but I can't simply fucking decide. And he's all freaking high and mighty right now. And then we can see that he's like, I've got an idea. And he does the old meeny, miny, mo tactic. And he points out, and it comes out to be one and only, unfortunately, Glenn. And he goes, bring him up. And at this point in the comic book, I'm sitting there going, oh my God, how is this going to happen? And right away, you think of Maggie. And you think of his unborn child. And being that I have a son and a daughter, it kind of hits me. Because if I was put in this situation, I don't know what I would do. I couldn't even say goodbye to my wife and my children. I get picked up, I get dragged, and Rick is like, don't fucking do this. And he goes, you have 50 fucking men surrounding you. 50! Sit the fuck down, right, or you all are gonna die. His hands are tied. Rick can't do anything. And he goes, anyone moves at all, cut the boy's other fucking eye out. And he goes, feed it to the girl. The guy is sick. He's freaking Looney Tunes. And all of a sudden, you see him right here. And the only thing that poor Glenn, you know, can say is he's just like, don't do this. And Maggie's like, Rick. And he can't do anything. And he goes, you can cry. You're all going to be doing that. And all he can say, Glenn, is just like, please. He's like, please, don't. And the next thing you see is, bop, right on the top of the skull. The baseball bat with the barbed wire, and the hat falls off. And he goes, holy shit, he's taking it like a champ. That's all Negan can say. And the next thing you see is Glenn sitting here. And he's going, the poor guy can't even talk. At this point, I'm choked up now. He's like, he can't even say Maggie's name because you know that's all he's trying to say. And all you can see is the rest of the group just sitting there in shock. And Michonne, I mean, the look of death on her face. And he goes, "You in there, buddy?" He goes, "I just know it seems like you're trying to speak, but I just can't make of it." He goes, "I cracked your skull, and your freaking eyes popping out." Look at him. He's just looking at him like it's just natural. He goes, "I don't think." And as he tries to keep talking, Glenn says his final words right here for the last time, and he interrupts Negan, and he goes, "Maggie!" And as he's just bleeding, gushing blood, eyeballs popping out, just nuts. And next you see, boom, takes it right to the face right here, just right to the face, in the jaw. He gets knocked down, probably the final time he's been alive, doesn't know what's hit him. You see the rest of the group just like, oh. Next you see is he just kicks the bat and just bam, 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 just keeps pummeling him on top of the head. Next image is just very disturbing. He goes, and then Negan goes, "Hey, Lucille, it's a vampire bat." And this is the image of you see of Glenn, the last image. He goes, "Whoa, was that joke bad?" And the next thing we see here is that you see one image, and it's pretty crazy. And you know that this is going to stick true to what is said in the images. I'm trying to find it. Sorry for the delay. Hopefully I can find it. No, I can't find it. But the one image is this one right here. And Rick says, "I'm going to kill you." And he goes, and then Negan goes, "I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Speak up." He goes, "Not today, not tomorrow, but I will kill you." He goes, "No, you won't." He goes, "Your best fucking chance is right now. Stand up and put the knife to my throat, an axe to my face." He goes, "And all these freaking guys will kill you and everyone that surrounds you." He goes, "In fact, you want to keep acting tough like I still need to break you." And he goes, "And I'll have that, and I'll have a few of my boys take care of you, boy." He smacks Rick around a little bit, and he just says, "Everything has changed, Rick." He goes, "Things are going to be different from now on. You're entering a whole new world." And he goes, "I'll be back in 1 week to get my earnings." And as the last page comes around, Negan says, "Ta-ta." And you see bloodied old Glenn on the floor with the rest of the group hanging around, just watching him dead on the floor. And that completes issue number 100 of The Walking Dead, Something to Fear. Very sad issue. In my opinion, I just think it's a great issue, a great story to a great comic book. That is my opinion on the book. My feelings towards Rick right now is I hope some way he kicks the shit and beats the piss out of that freaking Negan guy. But that guy is tough, and with his men around him, he's even tougher. I'm sorry Glenn had to go. He was a very strong character in the series. I will miss him. I feel for Maggie, and I feel for the unborn child, and I feel for Sophia. That girl has been through a lot, and she's seen a lot. How is the group going to recover from this? What is going to happen after this? It's never going to be the exact same. And what's happening back at the community with Andrea and the rest of the group? What's going to happen to them? I don't know. Time will tell, guys. But give me your thoughts on The Walking Dead, issue number 100. And tell me what you think. Let's discuss it. Tell me how you enjoyed it. What you think of Glenn on his death. And were you disappointed on who you saw got killed? Is there somebody else that you think you wanted dead? Let me know, guys. Let's talk about it. This has been the official walkthrough and review, by the way, 5 stars, of The Walking Dead issue 100. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. So guys, as always, thanks for watching Comic Book Corner, and this is Spider Slayer signing off. And if you haven't, guys, please subscribe to my channel today if you like this review. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.